everyone, including you, can open your online shop right now without any coding background. So basically, the idea is that if you can make a blog or a Facebook account as simple as that, then you should be able to make an online shop as simple as that as well. So yeah, we do all the codings, we do all the technical stuff, we do the integration with shipping services, with payment gateways and stuff. And so you just need to upload the products, settings, all the details, and then here you go, you can start your online shop. So that's what I'm currently doing. I've been doing it for 2 years, exactly 2 years actually. 1st July.
Wow, congratulations, bro.
Yeah. And then, so yeah, we started in 2013, we launched in 2014. By now, we already we have helped created about 6,000 online shops. And then, out of them, we have about 300 plus active paying online shops.
Nice.
When I say active paying, because our service is actually paying services. Subscriptions, correct. So you don't have to pay anything in the beginning. It's a free trial in the beginning, but then after 1 month, then you have to decide whether you want to continue or not. And if you want to continue, then you have like choices of plans from the cheapest one, which is only 100,000 rupiah a month, all the way to 1.8 million a month. Varies depending on the size of the shop, meaning the numbers of products, as well as the complexity of the features. Yeah, so that's what I'm currently doing. And what am I supposed to do?
Just briefly, so what did you do before and what happened? Like, you stumbled into building Sirclo?
Okay, so before Sirclo, I was working in Singapore. Basically because I was studying in Singapore before. I was studying computer science in Nanyang University. And then after that, I worked for PwC Singapore, but not an accountant, because those of you who heard about PwC, then yeah, usually people will tell, oh, are you an accountant? But I'm not. What I did was data analysis. So using my technology background, computer science background, I do business consulting, but specifically more on the processing and analyzing data. So that's what I was doing before Sirclo for almost 2 years in Singapore. Then after that I started Sirclo.
Interesting. Mas bro, your turn now.
Interrupt for like actually, Fung has arrived.
Whoa, Fung has arrived!
Sorry.
Give it up for Fung! Silakan duduk dari Jakarta traffic, usual. So yeah, a brief intro. Fung is a celebrity. He's super busy. He goes everywhere. He does lots of business. So yeah, we were just doing a brief intro about what the company does and how long have they been doing this and what happened. Like what did they do before this? So brief introduction. So right now, Sumartok, and after that, you enter. Mas bro, silakan Mas bro.
Okay, my name Sumartok. I'm building Tripvisto.com. Okay, who love to travel here?
Travel.
Anyone who love to travel?
Travel.
Okay, so from the branding, you already know this is a travel company, but we are the online tour and activity marketplace. So we sell the tour package around the world, including Indonesia and all over the world, at a cheap price. So let's say if you want to go to Thailand, you can starting from $60 for 3 days 2 nights, something like that. So we try to make traveling is more affordable. Okay, that's my company. And then the second.
So how long have you been running?
Okay, Tripvisto is starting from November last year, but I'm in the business for 4 years. It's a long story. Before Tripvisto, we do yeah, it's pretty similar things, but different execution. So it's 4 years, but we just launched Tripvisto last November. So from November to now, we grow our customer actually more than 10 times. really the growing from the launch until now. So that's why customer service now is very important for Tripvisto, because people, when people travel, they have actually a lot of questions about the destinations. They don't know, even they don't know Thailand, or even let's say for local, they don't know Komodo Island, what to do there and everything. So that's why our customer service is really intense on the knowledge and how to convince them to going to Komodo with the bike by the Komodo.
Right.
Something like that.
Cool. So why travel? What happened? What did you do before?
Before I start the business 4 years ago, I worked with telecom and media company. So it's for 10 years with doing from the business intelligence, and then going to digital marketing and some sales strategy area. So my background honestly is mixed between a developer and then an analyst and marketing and sales.
Basically, you're doing everything.
Do everything before I jump into these things.
I see.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much. Fung, so everybody, both speakers are using their shirts, Sirclo and Tripvisto. Where's your shirt? Ah.
Yeah, well, this is what I sell.
Okay, let me explain. What's your company?
So hi, I'm Fung. I'm now a co-founder of Rupawa.com. So it's Rupawa without N. It's Rupawa.com. It's a crowdsourcing platform for merchandise. Basically, you can find a lot of merchandise from various people. Anybody can just upload designs, and any visitors who look at the design, if they like the designs, they can purchase it online. It's very simple. So people just browse the design they like. They can buy some T-shirts, or in the future mugs, tumblers, and so on and so forth. But in the beginning, it's only for T-shirts. So this is just one of it. It's digital design. So the difference with the screen printing and digital printing is this unlimited number of color available for the design. So it allows maximum flexibility for designers. So that's the value proposition that we have. And before Rupawa, I was the executive director of GEPI.
So he was here. So if you guys came here, you would see Fung doing the business and somewhere here.
So yeah, I was the third executive director. I was the one that I was heavily involved in setting up this place. If it looks boring, it's partially because of my fault. So the setup is like this because we feel that it's futuristic, and hopefully you like it, but hopefully it's not too boring. Angeline did a much better job after I left. So it used to be very messy, by the way. So now it's much cleaner. Before GEPI, I was the first managing director and co-founder of Lazada Indonesia. Lazada. I'm sure most of you know Lazada Indonesia. I was there for a year. I was the first co-founder, so I was setting it up since you're the first few employees, the first few strategy plans, and so on and so forth. And before that, I had a short stint in Agung Sedayu as a corporate manager. Agung Sedayu is a property developer, one of the leading property developers in Jakarta. And before that, I was a strategy consultant at Boston Consulting Group. Many people do not know Boston Consulting Group because they basically they give consulting services to big companies, multinational companies like the likes of P&G, Fortune 500. And before that, I did a lot of studies in various fields. I had a bachelor degree in electronics. I had a master's degree in accounting strategy. I took finance, chartered. If you know CFA, I also took it while taking those courses. So I'm very interested in a lot of fields. So even before my master's degree, I spent 3 years as an engineer. So if in summary, I spent some time as an engineer, business consultant, property management, startup, and finally, another startup, and a non-profit as well in GEPI. So quite a broad range of stuff that I did in the past.
Man, long list of experience, very long list. Even before then, and then even before then, and even before then. I have a question for you guys in the audience. Like, who here are running online business? Penasaran, siapa yang lagi running online business? Nobody is running online business. Like really? Anyone? Mau lihat kayak seberapa rame sih? Okay, some of you are running online business. Some of you might be like curious about what it feels like running an online business, right? Because right now we're talking about dealing with customers for online businesses. You guys have background working in offline business, right? Is there any difference between dealing with customer for online business and dealing with customer for offline business? What's the key difference? Can anyone help answer?
Before I building Tripvisto, I work with a telephone company, which is it's a technology company, but the distribution is offline. How you get the customer is offline. The difference with dealing customer with online and offline. In offline, you can see, of course, you can see the customer. You know the feel how to approach them. In online, even they don't see you, and you don't see them. You're only guessing by asking the smart questions, what exactly that they need, what kind of solution that they want. So it's done over the call or email. For call, of course, you still can feel, oh, this is bapak-bapak, this is young ladies, this is quite exclusive travelers, right? But on emails, even it's blind.
Right.
We don't know which type of user of this until you digging with some information. So I think that's the most essential difference between offline and online customers. And of course, the challenge with online, they always ask, hey, they actually don't believe at the first start because they think, oh, you guys cheating. You guys must be get away our money, right?
Right.
And then we get nothing. So that's the most difficult challenge doing the online business with the typical different customers from offline.
Interesting. So there's this perception that online businesses, well, it can be a scam. You don't know because you're not dealing with the customer, with the people directly, right? So I have this question. So how did you get your early users, your beta users, your first users? How did you get them?
Yeah, I get the first user, of course, starting from the offline, honestly.
Huh?
Yeah. The first user is offline. It's bullshit. You get the website live on the day one, and then you get the customer buy from the online. It's never, I don't know, it's never happened in Indonesia. So we try to approach some friends and friend of friends, and I get my first customer from one of the bank, my friends in the bank, so they want to go outing to go to Singapore. So that's our first customer. Right. After that, we spreading the message. We tell them the first 30 people, hey, you can check our website, and then the message spreading because they're happy. Happy people will share their happiness.
Right.
So that's why the most important is to make your first customer really happy. If they don't happy, then it's mean it's a doom for your company. It's bad things will happen. You will very difficult to get the next traction.
I see. Interesting. So did that happen to you also at Sirclo? Early users, or you had to do offline channels to get early users?
Yeah. But I think before I get to that point,
yes,
let's add on a bit on the difference between the offline and online. I think one way to look at it is that when you do offline, then you get to see the people, so you'll be able to understand more. But then I think there's another positive side as well for the online business, which is like, for example, for Sirclo, right? It's actually quite a new thing for people to have a website instantly.
Right.
So sometimes people are still, feel a bit shy whether they can do it or not. So sometimes if you have something like live chatting kind of thing, people are more encouraged or not so shy to ask questions, right? Because they don't see people, they don't see the one on the other side, so they can ask any kind of questions, like any stupid kind of questions, right? So
any stupid questions, like what's your shoe size?
Like I think we have this example of problems like, oh yeah, I have created my shop, and then I have this URL, and then I copy paste the URL, but the website is not there. Then we've been thinking hours, not really hours, but half an hour. How come? Is it our system down or whatever? But it's not. In the end, then we realized actually because she copy paste the URL to the Google search box. So yeah, the website is not there because she didn't copy paste it to the URL box, but to the Google search after half an hour of debating whether you have your internet connection right or not. So, but then at the end, yeah, I mean, people are more encouraged not to shy to ask online because they don't get to see the people. So that's the thing.
Compared to offline, because they might look stupid and I'm asking silly questions, simple questions.
Right.
Should I ask? This guy is so handsome. Should I ask?
Yeah.
So shy.
Yeah. So just to add on the other side of that. Back to your question about
beta users.
Beta users. Yeah, I think it's definitely the same case for Sirclo. In the beginning, well, we actually sell our product even before we launch.
You sell your product before you launch?
Yes.
What
that means if you go to Sirclo.com in the beginning, you only have our company profile, but you cannot create an online shop. But we start our sales since day one. Just with some slides telling that, hey, we actually have this system. You'll be able to have your online shop. We have taken care of everything and stuff. And do you see any problem? Do you feel it's useful? Yeah, actually, so the first user is not only users, but they actually help us as well for us to get initial feedback. And we do it all offline. And even after launch, in the beginning, I think it's really true what you said just now, that there's no way in the beginning you have your website up and then everybody will go to your website. Nobody knows your website in the beginning, right? So what we do, what our salesperson do is, I think, just to be specific, what we did in the first couple of months, all co-founders, including salesperson, go to malls, go to shop houses, go to bazaars like those fashion bazaars you have in GEPI, in Pepe and stuff, and we talk to each of the merchants. Hey, do you need a website?
Right.
We want to try. Yeah.
Right.
So slowly after that, after we gain more and more reputation, people will start coming to our website themselves.
Yeah, but that's interesting. You sold a promise. You sold an imaginary product. I can do this for you.
Yeah.
How did that happen? Why did they say yes? What happened? Did you just book? Okay, so you're saying yes, so we'll contact you when the product is up. Did you do that? Or give me the money first?
No. I think actually it's very easy question to answer because actually in the even more traditional way of doing this website development business, usually you will ask for the quotation first, then you will pay some down payment, then they will start working on your website, right? But for us, with our system, actually we don't ask any money in the beginning.
Right.
We just need your commitment that yes, you will be using it, and then yes, you should try it. Then after the first month, we'll start charging you if you feel like to. Yeah, so actually it's not that difficult because we don't charge in beginning.
Right, so it's not only friends, but you also you went to malls,
Yeah.
you guerrilla, you
Yes.
go guerrilla marketing strategy,
Yeah.
and just spoke to everyone.
Yeah.
Interesting, offline channel. So did that similarly happen to you? Any difference on how you get your beta customers? It's yours is a marketplace, right? So your users are both customers and designers. So any stories about that?
Maybe before that, I want to add a bit, like just like Brian said it, I would like to add a bit more info about the difference between online and offline.
Sure.
So, in addition to the you can't really, I think in essence, there's a lot of data loss in online. Data loss. It means that what you can see in offline, you don't have it available online. So like one Sumartok mentioned, you can't really see the face. Face is very important. Face is part of trust, because when you see somebody and you see the gesture, the facial expression, and so on and so forth, you kind of, you connect that to like a personal attachment. Oh, this lady is trustworthy or not, something like that. But that's missing in online, right? And also, you can't like for me, I sell T-shirts. We can put the picture, we can put the best picture we can get. But when people ask, what's the hand feel of that T-shirt? How comfortable it is,
How durable it is.
how durable it is, right? Is this very, like, what's the fabric? What's the feel of the fabric? So this quite kind of information is also missing in online. You can't really touch it, you can't really stretch, and you can't really wear it.
Right.
You can't really tell that it fits your body.
It's a problem.
It is a big problem. And then when people ask this, like you can't really, you can't really look at the facial expression of the customer service as well. Most of the methods are commonly done using chats, just text-based. There are plenty of potential ways to miscommunicate when it's text-based customer service. Against, offline, where you can basically go to Uniqlo and say, hey, I want a T-shirt this size, or if you want to complain, then you can look at the, the waiter or, the shop assistant's expression, helpfulness, and so on and so forth. That's not available online as well. And I think the third most important thing is, in online, there are so many channels. We're bombarded with so many channels. Social media, we're talking about Facebook, Twitter, Instagram.
Speak with the customers.
Yeah. So, and then we have to manage all of those, because we know some segments are active in Facebook, some but not on Twitter. Some are really active on Twitter but not on Facebook, so on and so forth. So we have to spread as as wide as possible. Of course, we have priorities, but typically we try to touch as many channels as possible. So that's quite daunting, because somebody can comment on Facebook, somebody can comment on Twitter, and we have certain, like somebody can just, just instant chat you on your chat feature and so on and so forth. And if those channels are not managed properly, then customers will be disappointed. They will tell like, I like your design, I like your goods, but why you are so slow in answering my question? So that's a challenge as well. We don't really have only one store in which the shop assistant is guarding one outlet. The analogy is the shop assistant is basically guarding 10 outlets at the same time. And whenever customers asking questions from any of those outlets, then they have to entertain as soon as possible. That's challenging.
I gotta say, it sounds depressing, bro. Yeah, you're missing lots of data points, and you have so many channels to manage. Yeah, it sounds daunting. So yeah, before we get into how you guys deal with those daunting tasks, maybe we can go to the beta users first.
Okay. So for me, it's quite simple. So the first, again, what I sell is quite unique. T-shirts, right? So for me, it's very simple. The first few people that bought the product that I sold are friends and families.
Friends and families.
Because they're established trust I don't really need to tell them, hey, I'm real, I'm not cheating your money, and so on and so forth. And they like the design, they'll buy. They don't think twice. For the other people, the more general market, we have to educate. So, and yeah, the same thing with Sumartok and Brian. I mean, especially for me, so it's just, it's fabric. So they have to fill in. Once they know the fabric, once they try it, once they like it, it's more, they have, the tendency is higher for them to purchase online. Because at least the question mark about the fabric, the fit is gone already. But another way, what we did in Lazada is we were really aggressive in COD. Cash on delivery.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's one of the ways to, hey, I know you still couldn't trust or you want to see the goods first before you actually give the money, fine. We'll send it to you. If you don't like it, just return it back. If you like it, pay on the spot.
I see.
So that's one of the ways.
Okay, so the first biggest barrier for online businesses when dealing with customers is trust, establishing trust. So you guys dealt with that by going through to the guys that already know you best, the offline channels. So can I assume that from these beta users, the words would spread out and it would help build the reputation towards your company?
Provided the products are good.
Yeah, so if the product isn't good, then yeah, they will say bad things about your company. So with that thing in mind, you guys do special treatment to your early users. Any special treatments like, because very new, they have additional demands. They have super serious questions. Okay, let's cater to them. Do you guys do any of that? Any stories?
Okay, I think the first user is the most important. So as founder, what we need to do is to make sure they're happy. Our first user, they are from the corporate, they travel to Singapore.
Okay.
So there is no way to make sure they are happy without accompanying them.
Oh, really?
So I'm going to the field and being the top leader. Simple as that. So going from the ground level and then feel and interact with the customer and always checking how they feel about the experience. What do you think about the hotel? Can you sleep? Asking a simple questions. What about the food? Do you want to have more, or you want to find another things? So asking the right question, you can get good insight. So you can from that questions, we get the right answer and to improve our product. So I think when we still have a very early user, do everything, including being a customer service, answer the phone, email, and everything. So you get the feeling how your service or product is working for the customers.
I see.
Yeah.
Interesting. But you guys are running online business. Why the hell are you guys doing so much offline activities? So did the same happen to you, Brian?
Yeah, I think it's because like what you said just now, one of the keys is trust.
Right.
And I don't know whether it's the case of Indonesia or it's the case of everywhere, but there are a lot of things which happen offline that cannot be replaced by online. Like the thing that you asked earlier, like whether you meet face to face will actually enhance the trust and stuff. So yeah, we will still do a lot of offline things. Even more in the beginning, because in the beginning, like I think if I try to comment with the earlier question about whether we do some special treatments in the beginning, well, I think in the beginning when you have smaller volume, actually you have more time to actually handle each and every customer, right? And you should actually use that opportunity to actually understand more about them. and that means doing a lot of offline stuff as well, meeting with them, like even not only during the acquisition but retention as well. You try to meet them after the website is live, ask them whether whatever they want to have is there, whether they are happy with the product. And I think it's not, if I can add a bit about it, it's not only about trying to impress them so that they will spread the word out, but it's also trying to understand better about your product, whether your product actually is something that people want. And those things, at least to me, are easier done when it's done offline, when you can see the people, see whether they are really happy about it, whether they like the product, and yeah, I think that's why we do a lot of offline things as well. And okay, I think one last thing, when you ask specifically whether everything can go online, or we will still have to do some offline things, I will still say that for the foreseeable future that I can see, there will always be offline stuff that you have to do. At the end, it's also because to add personal touch on your product. Like I think one of the example is like now for a lot of our users, we don't, because of our volume and stuff, we don't actually have the opportunity to actually meet with each and every of them. But once in a while, we'll try to contact them, like maybe not a meeting, but call them, ask them about how they are doing, and then after a while, if they are still using our product, we will try to send some gift as well. And it's a personal gift. It's handwritten.
You're bribing them.
Appreciating them.
Appreciating them. Right. That's a better word.
Appreciating them and do it very personally. I mean, like it's not a standard card with just thank you statement in it. It's a handwritten things to add on personal touch. I think so. That's the use of offline at the end. Yeah.
Interesting. Do you agree, Fung? Like until the end of time, online businesses would need to do offline stuff.
I think it depends on what you sell online. Different stuff and different services would require more, like offline touch than others. So let's say like clothing typically need more offline because again there's so many factors that you can't really tell using online descriptions.
Right.
But I think like electronics, when you have like standardized specifications, when you have like, if you have the certain info and people are based on that info, those info are sufficient enough to tell the product, like the customers do not have a lot of question marks. So let's say, if I want to buy Xiaomi 2, let's say, if I buy in Lodok, look at the stuff, if I buy in any other online shops, if I know the spec, if I know the type of Xiaomi, right, and as long as I know the casing color, I'm 99% sure that the product is gonna look like, like something in my head. It's pretty accurate. But when it comes to furniture, like when, like the feel, the sturdiness, and so on and so forth is still a question mark, then you need more offline stuff. And another factor is relationship as well. Like if you need close relationship, then you need more offline stuff. Because online, honestly, online is, to be very frank, is very impersonal. Like if the spectrum of the person touch in online is very, very poor. So like a lot of B2B stuff, large deals and so on and so forth, they must be comfortable with you as a person.
Okay.
And that can't be substituted with an online platform. Once you establish that relationship, then the platform is useful. But not the other way around. First of all, establish the relationship first, and then the platform is useful because they know you are behind the platform. They have to see you, they have to see the face, They have to talk to you. They have to know that you are in the business for really you are really genuinely doing the business and really adding value to him or her. That's the way. I think a lot of other online businesses I think that the most simplest thing is the things that you can basically, a lot of like ebooks, and then games tokens. Like if you play Clash of Clans, you have been playing it all along, like for free, let's say.
Right.
Then suddenly you want to upgrade something, and then you don't really have all the resources. They ask you, hey, do you want to pay for it? Well, that easily can be done without offline presence at all, for good reasons, because the product description, whatever it offers to the customers, are clear, simply using the online methods. No offline. I mean, offline presence doesn't add additional value to the online description. So again, it depends on the products and services.
Right. So did you do anything special with your early users?
Yes, I did a lot of offline because, well, it's fashion. So I have to do offline.
Okay.
Yeah.
Remember, guys, you can ask questions whenever you want. Yeah. Okay.
Hi, audience.
I think this is interesting because we have three interesting types of businesses. So I think Sumartok, you run Tripvisto. It's a big ticket item whereby when people buy, it's 600,000 above, $60 above, right? Or even $1 million above usually. For you, it's maybe aspiring entrepreneurs, those people who are critical, who is a bit more familiar with online. And with you, it's designers. And again, the challenge is they can't touch your product. So, very simple question with you guys. Can you give a brief explanation of a day-to-day job dealing with customers? Customer support. For this one is customer support when they contact you. So, number one, how do they contact you? Is it via email? Is it via WhatsApp? Is it via phone? Two, what do they talk? What do they say? Can I have your phone number? Do you have a girlfriend?
Okay. The first question, how do they contact us? We have 4 channels. One is live chat. Second is email. Third is phone.
Right.
Direct phone. And then fourth is WhatsApp. In the beginning, we have WhatsApp as well as I think we tried WhatsApp line as well as BBM. But then after a while, we see that WhatsApp is the most popular one and the one that can be scalable in the future.
What do you mean scalable?
Like BBM, you have to have like one. You have to apply it in the handphone itself.
Right.
And it's not transferable. But like WhatsApp, in the past it's the same case, but now they already have the desktop application, so you can reply in laptop as well, and that is way faster. And I think like some startups also trying to do integration with WhatsApp so that you have one WhatsApp account, but then you can distribute the job to multiple people. I think Bernardus is doing that as well.
Yeah.
So yeah. That's not a some sponsor.
Was that a plug?
But then I think I see from the slideshow.
Slide.
But back to the topic. So we have 4 channels, and then and that's the order of the popularity. So first one is the live chat. Live chat is very busy, and then second one is email. And also because live chat, if it's off time, is it outside of office hour, live chat will go to email, right? Let me go to email. So email is number 2, and then third is direct phone. Fourth is WhatsApp.
Okay.
So what do they talk about? Depending on the channels.
Yeah.
For live chat, most of the cases are questions of those free trials people. Meaning that they try to use our service, they just created their shop, and then they want to ask like, hey, how can I upload my product? How can I make a category? How can I upload the slide?
Tutorial.
Yeah, so basically it's a lot of questions about how to use it. So that's a live chat. For email, it's quite similar, but usually a more complex one. So usually it's more professional users, they will ask like, okay, I have this, I have tried your service for 1 day, and then I have these questions: A, this, B, this, C,
Right.
this. So that's why it's email.
Long questions, yeah?
Yeah, long questions. And then phone and WhatsApp usually is for emergency stuff. Emergency meaning like, oh, there's an error with my website, or I know that my website is down. Anything happen, or do you have any solution? So usually anything urgent, they will straight away call on WhatsApp because they feel that we will reply more quickly. Yeah, and so yeah. Apart from that, I think just to add a bit on, because just now you mentioned whether there are some silly questions like, can I have your number? Well, there are cases of this as well. But yeah, that's just a funny story. We have several.
What's the funniest inquiry you had?
Okay, so we have we have not only one customer support.
Yeah.
And usually, again to add personal touch into the conversation, usually our customer support will first introduce themselves. Hey, my name is Brian. Can I help you? So obviously they will have different names, right? And then sometimes there are requests like, hey, yesterday actually I tried your service and I talked to this customer support. Can I talk to her again? Well, I think maybe it's just because the first person maybe explain Clinton. Yeah. So but you don't know what's the end of that. Okay. So that's how they contact us and that's what they are doing.
Thank you. So, Mas Bro, siapa nih yang mau lanjut? What's the typical customer support channels do you use? And,
for surprisingly, I think for general customers, they take the least effort, the channel with the least effort. So if they look on Instagram, they tend to comment on Instagram rather than like connect. Like they will just simply comment on Instagram and ask, hey, do you have this design in this color? They will just simply do that. Facebook, the same thing. You post something they like from the Facebook post, they will immediately comment on that. So that's why it's pretty hard to say that which channels that we put a lot of effort in. We put a lot of effort on all those channels because simply the customers or my business is very impulsive. When they like something, they will immediately comment. They don't bother looking at the contact list or whatever. When they see something, they just comment.
Right.
Yeah. So I think there's a nature in a lot of goods that basically are based on impulse buying. So yeah, I think bottom line is that. Yeah.
So in a nutshell, you manage everything, all online channels. What's the heaviest? What's the most popular channel you have?
Surprisingly, phone calls would be the least. I mean, Indonesians very shy and short, so they hardly call unless for complaints. For inquiries, they don't call. Or once we like delivery is a bit late or the design is not according to the order, they will call immediately. But besides those, text-based. The most challenging one, I think some social media are harder to track. To track the questions.
Yeah.
Facebook, pretty easy. Twitter, moderately difficult to track. The questions, which questions related to which particular post and so on and so forth. So Twitter without any certain tool is quite challenging. Unless we, like for every single tweet, we look, okay, this is just like a remark saying, yeah, this is good design. But sometimes they say, hey, do you have, because Twitter comments can be like remark, can be just like a joke or whatever, right?
Right.
So it's quite challenging to actually identify something as a question mark and something that we have to reply. And once we know that it's a question that we have to respond to. So that's quite challenging for some social media.
Do you know direct messages? Yeah, they just comment.
They take the least effort. So if they browse on the website and there's a button there to direct chat, they will do it. if they are on the website.
Right.
But most people, they they browse using mobile phones or whatever, and they will see this pop up from Instagram while they're looking at their Instagram or whatever, and they will just look at it and comment. They don't bother to that's the only single point of communication that they know, right? So that's why they immediately comment on Instagram or Facebook.
Interesting.
Sometimes it's not like they just want to make you respond faster or they want to embarrass you or no, it's nothing like that. It's just they're lazy. They're too lazy.
Lazy bastards.
No, it's human, right? It's human.
Right.
They're just too lazy to find out the real contracts. Yeah.
And yeah, it's normal for you guys to get lazy people coming on board, and so you have to understand the nature of these people and service them well, right?
Customer is king. So.
Customer is king. So this one is interesting because Sirclo offers free trial, so that's why they can ask you some tutorial questions. Yours is impulse buying, so they just comment, yours, it's expensive, bro. So I can imagine you get loads and loads of questions even before they buy.
Okay, so traveling is about selling the dream.
The dream.
Right? Your dream is to travel somewhere that have a pristine beach, a beautiful mountain, or a very delicious foods and everything. So selling a dream is not easy. Right? You should have the right perceptions, the right visions, and once you miss something, even a small thing, then you screw everything actually. Because this is a big all about the service and it's quite intangible.
Right.
Even like hey, I don't like the guide because the face looks so scary.
Oh.
Yeah, it's happened. Actually, it's happened because yeah, maybe the customer is female. They go to Medan, Batak people quite have. It's not.
Or maybe the customer is male and they prefer female.
Yeah. Even something like that still happen. The silly things still happen. Anyway, I enjoy the silly things somehow. So the customer interaction now is the most popular channel is email.
Okay.
Because they can write anything. Even if we have customers that write a book.
What?
Writing a book. Hey, I'm coming from a very rural area in Indonesia. I'm working for government. My dream is going to Korea. I want to see blah 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 blah. I know that I see a lot of Korean artists in TV. My dream is to meet them personally. Blah blah blah. Can you help me to buy this kind of trip with very affordable price? That's that's quite make me shocking morning because that email happened on 5 o'clock.
Right.
Morning time. So email they can express everything, they can write everything without feeling that they will push to buy. If they call by phone, then of course our sales will try to persuade them. Hey, you want to go to where Thailand, blah blah blah, we have a very cheap promotions. And I learned that email somehow still a very effective way because every spice write down details on the email.
Okay.
With phone you cannot, let's say our customer service say the wrong things.
Right.
And then the customer thinks, hey, you promised to give me that, why that not happen?
And you cannot track that,
cannot
right?
track.
Maybe the customer is mistaken.
Yeah. So that's why we always encourage, please email. Please email all the details. We don't care how long the emails. We will read and we will fulfill all your needs.
Okay.
And then live chat is number 3 because it's not really convenient to do the live chat on the mobile. Except it's WhatsApp is different.
Okay.
The web live chat. It's not really convenient because 60% of our customers now coming from mobile.
Okay.
They browse from Google, and then they get in touch by email or phone call or do the live chat. So that's why now I have 5,000 unread emails, and mostly coming from customer care. I cannot handle one by one anymore because I already have the customer service team, but I just do the random checking which request that sound not following up by the team. I will go through that and then escalate to the team. So the silly things, I think the silly questions, that's a lot.
Okay.
Even not only the silly question, but the silly feedback.
Silly feedback.
Yeah. Okay. But actually I follow up the feedback. One of customer at the early days, I pick up the phone, and the customer said, "Hey, your voice is really scaring me.
Wow.
You looks like a soldier." So
you change your voice? It's okay.
no. After that, I think okay, maybe we need all female for customer service. Yeah, all female.
So now
that's
you're all female troops.
So now we have all female for the customer service because what? And we test the voice before they join the company.
So the interview is phone interview?
By phone. The first thing we do the interview by phone. If your voice is nice, then you can convince the customer. If your voice like a soldier, like me, then there is no way customer will purchase your product. Unless, mungkin maybe it's more a maker guy